Alright guys, full day of eating. Been saving most of my carbs for later in the day lately. This is my first meal. It's 3 whole eggs and a bunch of egg whites. Meal 2 a few hours later. This is like 300 grams of chicken tenderloins and then a Hardee's biscuit that I've shaved the insides out of to lower the carbs. The biscuits for Hardee's are on their website down to the gram, so I just weigh them out and shave out some of the insides like I said. Alright, a few hours later, this is 2 whole eggs on 2 slices of toast. I think that's Sara Lee brand, their lower calorie brand with higher fiber. Then that's just canned pumpkin up there with some cinnamon and sweetener. I realized that I hadn't had any vegetables at that point and decided to do it that way. Up next, this is just a snack I had. That's Greek yogurt and sugar-free Jell-O. And I just had it on these little rice crackers that are like rice cakes but even thinner, so I can have more of them for fewer carbs. That's what I had there. Up next was dinner. This is eggplant that I breaded with Italian style breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese and just baked for about 30 minutes. And that's just canned chicken and tomato sauce that I had with it. Up next is a bowl of cereal, puffed rice with Greek yogurt and almond bries. Still had some carbs, so I had another bowl of cereal. This is puffed red wheat and puffed rice with almond bries and a Reese cup because I had some fat left too. Here are my totals for the day. I was 6 over on protein, but not a huge deal. Alright, into the posing. This is the boring part for me. I don't really enjoy this all that much. Went through all the mandatories this time. My legs are coming in, my hamstrings specifically. You'll be able to see from the side. There's a pretty big difference since the last time I did a full posing video like this. And it's pretty obvious, but I will say that I'm aware that I do not have the ideal proportions. I'm never going to have that really great V taper and all of that. And I've said this before, my genetics for bodybuilding just really aren't there. And I think that I'm going to compete at the end of May, which gives me a very long prep, but I've been pretty flexible with taking diet breaks and letting my life come first, and I will continue to do that. Next weekend I'll be taking a beach trip. I'll still track. I track obsessively almost. I'll still track macros, but I'm going to give myself a lot more calories to work with. Basically going to set calories around maintenance, but if I go a little bit over those 3 days, it's a short trip, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm mainly going to worry about protein and total calories, and as long as everything's close, then I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm not going to go crazy and reverse all the progress I've made. Anyway, one show is an NGA Pro show. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. The other one is an IFPA Pro Qualifier, and it's in Montgomery, Alabama. Those are the 2 I'm looking at right now. And I think after I compete this year, I might do one other show. It just depends on how those 2 go. Probably won't do more than 3. And then after that, it will probably be quite a long time before I compete again. Maybe 4 or 5 years. I really just want to focus on powerlifting. And like I said, my genetics just really aren't there for bodybuilding anyway. So I think it's healthier for me mentally to focus on powerlifting because I can always track my progress there. And for bodybuilding, there are certain things that there's just nothing I can do about. And there's just no need to focus on those things. And as always, feel free to critique my posing. It's far from perfect. Typically gets better as I get closer to the contest. And I said that I don't really enjoy the posing. So I think I'd probably be better at it if I really enjoyed it. But I enjoy the prep and challenging myself more than this part, the pageantry. Even though that is what bodybuilding is, it's about how good you look on stage. I feel like the work put in is much more important than the final product. I think that everyone should definitely get as lean as possible in bodybuilding, but genetics play a big part. So you're just trying to get to the best you can get to, and you don't really have to be on stage to do that. That being said, I don't really recommend that the average person get to between 3 and 5% body fat just for fun. Would definitely reserve that for competitive bodybuilders because it's not ideal and really doesn't even make sense unless you're competing. Once you get to the single digits in body fat, most people are going to be impressed by the way you look. And a lot of people will greatly underestimate their body fat percentage. A lot of people think they're around 8 to 10% when they're really closer to 20. This posing video is coming to a close. I've kind of rambled a little. If you've made it anywhere near this far, I appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and don't if you didn't. I'll talk to you next time.